You just want to get here.
Good morning. Just 1 second. Good morning. Good morning. All the participants are on mute except for the Rav. If I could just ask the Rav to wait a few moments. Are you able to see the Tehillims on the screen?
I saw the Tehillim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see.
Okay. So everyone else is on mute at this point. I just need to connect those people who've called by phone. If I can just ask you for one more moment, please.
I never get my picture on the phone. Oh, that is on.
Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Appuyez sur le 0 pour choisir français.
System error. Error code 105. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound. System error. Error code 105. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed. Error. Error code 10.
Hi, I'm going to, did you try to calling the other number?
No, I tried this one first. What's the other number?
Okay, try dialing this number, okay, and try to enter it, okay? I apologize for the, try dialing this number here, 647. 1 second.
Call from 64799442221.
What's the number?
You know, the shiur did not start yet, okay? The shiur has not started yet. I'm trying to get everybody to be on the same page. Here, no, not this number.
No, this is Rabbi Lowys.
Try dialing 647 558 0588. That's it. And then the code, then the meeting ID number 892 239 4367. That's correct. Okay, I will repeat it again. 1647 558.
So there's a what?
Well, if you're in Toronto, you don't need a 1. If you're outside, then you would. 647 558 0588. And the meeting ID is 892 239 4367. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody just for a short time. I'm going to ask if you can to voluntarily mute your phone, please. To voluntarily mute your phone. Those who've called in on Zoom, the mute button is located on the lower left-hand side of your screen. Okay, whenever the Rov's ready, when the Rov starts to shiur, I will once again mute everybody. Whenever the Rov's ready, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Your host has
Thank you.
You are
Right.
It's too long.
Thank you. Basically. You know why
I'm checking. Okay, go ahead. I think we've cleared it. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything you're doing with you.
Okay, no problem. Is there any phone in the Rov's house that's tuning in? Or is it one phone? Is the Rov on one phone? Because everybody else has been muted.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we know that every year, Pesach, the young people work so hard to get stuff. And the young people have both parts, working hard and then the culture.
Okay, I don't know if the Rov can hear me or not, but I'm not hearing it, the Rov's audio.
I have a hotline number that might work. I have a hotline number that could work.
Hello? Hello, it's a conference on. I see my picture on the screen. I've been trying to get in for the last 15 minutes.
No,
Hello?
okay. I'm going to try to get a hold of the Rov. I'm going to ask everybody indulge their patience a little bit longer, and we're going to see where I can get a hold of the Rov. Just one moment.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hi.
You hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Very good. The Rov dialed in?
I dialed in before already, but it wasn't working out.
Now, okay, I'm going to ask, yeah, now I can hear you clearly. I'd ask those people who are on Zoom, if you can indeed hear them, please nod your head or put an icon thumbs up, please.
Okay.
Everybody
Thank you.
can hear. Yes, I'm getting nods. Yes.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing, especially for this. You know, the halacha is that before Pesach, Sha'al v'Darshim Hilchos Pesach, you're supposed to learn all the halachas of Pesach, because Pesach has so many different intricate halachas. And every year, you know, it's a time that we all work so hard before Yom Tov, and then culminates with the beautiful, beautiful Seder with the whole family. This year, because of the pandemic, the preparing is much harder, and the Seder will be different than all other years. All other years, we always have the Zayda and the Baba and the grandchildren and everyone together from all over. This year, we don't have that. This year, well, preparing is, everyone is in the house. It makes the preparation much harder. We're all nervous about the pandemic that's going around, that we shouldn't get sick and our vulnerable and elderly shouldn't get sick. And then we have all those who are nebuch and sick, would have this corona sickness, and some nebuch are on ventilators, and some passed away. It's a very, very tragic time for us. But that's what the mitzvah of Yetzias Mitzrayim is to remember. Every year, every time a person has to see, like he himself went out of Mitzrayim, means we have to really live again, going into Mitzrayim, having the tzoros of Mitzrayim, and then coming out of Mitzrayim and becoming liberated. Mitzrayim, Rabbi Shem put us in Mitzrayim and took us out of Mitzrayim. So that's a comfort for us also. The situation we are in, Hashem put us in the situation. Anoich Hashem Elokecha asher tzeisecha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Yetzias Mitzrayim is one of the main tenets of Klal Yisrael, main belief in Klal Yisrael, to know that every tzara we go through, and when we say the Parsha Vayomer about Anoich Hashem Elokecha asher tzeisecha me'eretz Mitzrayim, the Rizal says we should think about our own Mitzrayim. Many times every Yochid has their own Mitzrayim. Now, Klal Yisrael, the world has their own Mitzrayim. But we have to know that Rabbi Shalom put us in Mitzrayim. And just like that time, he put us in Mitzrayim. He took us out. Cain, that's what we say in the end, Cain, Rabbi Shalom will take us out of this Mitzrayim, B'Korav. We have to do our part and prepare for Yom Tov. People in concentration camps, my parents were in Bergen-Belsen during Pesach, together with my older brother, Hershey Zazangezind. And they went out of that Mitzrayim. And Baruch Hashem, they were able to build such a beautiful family. The same thing, no one should be despondent, and no one should give up, and no one should get depressed, and no one should have anxiety. We're in this together. What we have to do is, our Agudah now is to prepare for Yom Tov. But the other Agudah is to make sure we don't get sick and we don't make others sick. And before we start, we'll first say Kapitel Tilim to Dam Hashem to end this calamity. And we're saying this Kapitel Tilim to send a refuah for all those who need a refuah, and to send to be menachem all those avelim. There's hundreds and hundreds avelim all over. Hashem should comfort all of them. They shouldn't have any tzar. So we'll say Kapitel Kuf Lamed. Shir Amalois Memamakim Krasicha Adonai Adonai Shema V'Koili Yenazacha Kashuvais L'Koil Tachanunai Imavainais Tishmaya Adonai Miyamai Kiyim Chaslicha Leman Tivarei Kvisi Adonai Kivso Nafshi V'Dvarei Haichalti Nafshi Adonai Mishayimrim Labaiker Shayimrim Labaiker Yachel Yisrael El Adonai Kim Adonai Chesed V'Arbei Ma'ifedus V'Yivdes Yisrael Mikoil Adonai Sav Mishberech Avasein Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yivarech V'Yirapei Es Kol HaCholim B'Chol Ha'olam Kuloi B'Prat Ira Zois Toronto, Babushik Kako, Mispalna, Mischazakot, Baruchu, Imal Rachma Aleim, Lachlimam, Rapoisam, Lachzikom, Lachyoisam, Yishlach Lahem, Meheder, Puvishumaim, Cholavereim, Chosha Gedeim, so Shochol Yisrael, the person of Shavuos of Hashvagolos Makori Benoima, Ramein, Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael, and the Sunim Batzora Beshivya, Oim the Bembiam Bembi Abasha, Amaka Mirachim Aleim, Yatziem Mitzora Levacha, Apelo Loira, Meshibud Legula, Hashvagolos Makori Benoima, Ramein. We're preparing now for the mitzvahs of the Yontiv. The mitzvah that we have before Yontiv is the mitzvah of Bir Chametz, to make sure we have no Chametz. There's 2 lavim that you shouldn't have Chametz in your home. And also the mitzvah of getting rid of the Chametz. The mitzvah of Bir Chametz, to get rid of the Chametz. Bir Chametz, the way you could get rid of Chametz is either by burning the Chametz or making sure that you don't have any Chametz in your possession. And one of the ways you could do it is by selling it to a guy. When you sell it to a guy, you mekayim a mitzvah deraisa of bir chametz. But that's every man and woman and child that comes to chinuch, a boy, a girl, have a chiyuv to bir chametz, to be mekayim this mitzvah of not having chametz. And so first we'll prepare. We spoke already last time when we had the shiur. This year, because of the calamity we are in, we don't have to be so machmer. First of all, that even people who usually don't sell chametz gomer, don't sell bread, don't sell open cereal, that's chametz gomer. This year, we could sell everything. The main thing is it should all be put into, you can't just leave it in the middle of the room. It should all be put into a cabinet or into a room that's closed. And that cabinet in that room is rented out to the guy. And with that, the guy is kind of all the chametz you have. But you could sell all the chametz. So what you have to do this year, all the cabinets have chametz. Just close it up and make a siman that it's that the chametz there. And if you have a break front that has chametz gekelim, you don't have to take it out. You just put a siman on it. You put a tape on it to know that you shouldn't come to use it. Any kelim, anything that has chametz, is rented out to the guy. If there's any chametz in anything, you don't have to worry about it. There's no chametz. You won't have any chametz on Pesach by selling it to the guy. The other mitzvah, the Rabbanim made a mitzvah b'dikas chametz to make sure to get rid of chametz. And the b'dikas chametz is the night before the night of Erev Pesach, and it's 8:15. You make mitzvah b'dikas chametz. Every time you're cleaning, every time we clean the house, you mekayim the mitzvah of bir chametz. So when a woman does the mitzvah, it says, Yerushalmi says that when the Rasha asks, Ma avoida zois lachem, the Rasha is asking his mother, why are you working so hard? Why do you have to work so hard? Ma avoida zois lachem. Why are you working so hard? So the answer is, the mother answers, that we're doing it for the mitzvah, and every time anything you're cleaning, you're mekayim a mitzvah. This year, because it's so hard, we know we don't have to be samachmer. The main thing is you clean the places that you're going to use, the cabinets that you're going to use. You make sure there's no chametz in it, and you make sure in the house there's no chametz around. Everything, all the chametz should be locked up or closed up. The halachos of kashering, halachos, we're not going to go through the halachos of kashering now. We just go to the halachos that you make sure that there's no chametz in the mitzvah of b'dikas chametz and bir chametz, which is the mitzvah. Sorry, could you close the phone there? That's the mitzvah. So what we have to do before Pesach is make sure that all the rooms we use shouldn't have any chametz around. The mitzvah of b'dikas chametz, you don't have to. We mention this every year. You don't have to do all the b'dika the night of Pesach. You could start doing it nights for 30 days before. Every night at night you take a flashlight, and anywhere that usually if you have bedrooms that you never took chametz and you don't have to check it, there's no mitzvah b'dika. But in places where chametz was taken, if you sometimes eat in your bedroom, or children go into a bedroom with chametz, so you just go with a flashlight and make sure there's no chametz, and make sure there's no chametz around. So that's the mitzvah of the beer chametz. And like we said, since all the chametz you put away, the only chametz you should be left with is the chametz that you put out the night of Deacon. The reason we put out chametz that night, because since we cleaned everything is really, there's no chametz anymore. So that's why that the night of Bedika, we put out 10 pieces, Akpi Kabbalah. There's a union of have 10 pieces, and you take a spoon and a feather, and it's a mitzvah for a man and a woman to do this mitzvah Bedika. There's a woman in the house who doesn't have someone to do it for her. She should do it herself. And she puts out 10 pieces, and it's not a game of hiding and seek. You can do it yourself and put out 10 pieces and take it. The purpose is not to go find it. The purpose is to have the 10 pieces. So you put out 10, even if you're living alone, a man is living alone, a woman is living alone, you should take the 10 pieces and put it out, and you check it. The best thing before Pesach, the week before Pesach, if you want to make sure that you cleaned your whole house, you don't have chametz. So we could start eating already the week, the mashal after Shabbos. We could start eating things that aren't chametz. You can eat anything that's made from kidneys, that's beans or corn, rice, which is not chametz. If you eat that, the Rice Krispies has mold barley in it, which is chametz. But if you have cereals that don't have any chametz in it, and then you can eat that. And if you see crumbs, you don't have to worry about it. Or you can eat egg matzah, and you don't have to worry about it if there's the crumbs. And the only place that you can make that by the day, it shouldn't be hard, especially if you have all the children home. Give them Pesach cakes. Give them even if you don't eat gebrokts during Pesach, you could give him gebrokts cake, the gebrokts before Pesach. And if there's anything in the house, that it's not chametz, and you don't have to worry about it. So it's good already from Sunday on to make sure that you don't really have real chametz around, and just have the kazayas chametz that you're going to burn. The kazayas chametz to burn, so first at night, where you make a bracha, al bir chametz, and I have minig, the whole family says it together. You have a candle and you have a flashlight, and by 8:15 you should do it, and you put out the 10 pieces, and you don't, since you made bedika in all the rooms, you only have to put it in one room, so it doesn't have to be real hard that night, and you make a bedika in that room, and you put away, and then afterwards you say kol chamira, you mevatel all the chametz, you annul all the chametz that you didn't see, and you put away, make sure you put away in a place where you'll find it the next day. And sometimes people call me up that they don't know where to put the chametz, and sometimes they don't know where the 10 pieces are. So the best thing is not to put the chametz down, 10 pieces on the floor itself. You should put it in the plastic bag, so it shouldn't, or into a paper, and to not make your houses clean. Now you're going to make it chametzik. So the best thing is to put it into either into a paper and a napkin or in a plastic, and put it around, and then put it together and make sure that you find it the next day. There's yiratzin, you say that Hashem should help you to make sure you have no chametz and you shouldn't eat any chametz, and you ask the Rebbeinu Shalom that just like your mevar your chametz, he should go and burn all the chametz. And nowadays there's two meanings in it. Usually when you mean chametz, it means the Yetzer Hara. It's symbolic. You ask Hashem, please take away the Yetzer Hara. But we also, this year, it also means take away this virus. We ask Hashem, take away all the chametz. I was thinking, in the Torah it says, Lo yirah lecha chametz, lo yirah lecha sar b'chol gevelecha. Shivas yomim sa'or lo yimatzeh bevetechem. 7 days you shouldn't have sa'or. Sa'or is something, it's machmetz acherim. Sa'or is something that makes other things chametz, that causes other things to become chametz. Make sure you don't bring into your house someone who's going to cause corona in your house. That's why this year, anyone coming from areas that are very infested, it's better not to bring them into the house. And any home that you have vulnerable people, you shouldn't bring anybody who came in contact, or you don't even know, you might have corona. And Chas V'Shalom, so many people who nowadays got corona, they don't even know where it came from. So first of all, if someone knows they have corona, they should tell people they have it. and people should know that they have to be careful. And someone who came in contact with them should know they shouldn't go. They should be the rule of the government is anyone who came in contact should go and be isolated for 7 days, and it's all for our protection. It's not done. It's not a government law. It's our protection. So Shivas Yomim means the days of life of a person. Lo yira, you shouldn't see b'chol belecha. You shouldn't see any sor, anyone causing others to have corona, and chametz. You shouldn't have corona. Our job now, this year, beside the chametz, we have to make sure there's no corona in our house, and we have to make sure there's no corona ever. And the only way we could do it is best thing is to stay at home if you don't have to go out. Anyone over 60 shouldn't go out of the house, should have others bring things, deliver. The goitas is the whole tumult. You should have goitas in your home, or you shouldn't have goitas in your home.
Stand by. I think the Rov got disconnected. He will be back shortly.
You can just eat protein. That's what I don't understand. Eat a piece of chicken. It's natural protein. Doesn't make sense. So eat turkey. You like smoked.
Is the Rov back on? Excuse me, hold on just one moment, please. Is the Rov back on?
Yeah.
Rabbi Lowys, can I hear you?
Good here.
Okay. Rabbi Lowys here? Okay,
We already ordered.
1 second.
We have like a
1
ton.
second.
Wait, we ordered some, but I know, but
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Rav.
Looks like the Sutton, doesn't want this halachos, and that's what we're davening now. Hashem should take away the Sutton from us. But like I mentioned before, that it's symbolic for our days that we have to make sure that there's no chametz and sor physically, and also it means now symbolically that we have to make sure there's no corona around. And the only way we could do it is not to go and mingle with people, to make sure that anyone who comes into your home doesn't have any machla. And that's the only way we can make sure that lo yimotze b'beteichem, it shouldn't be in the or don't bring somebody who has corona into your home, and someone who might have corona. And b'chol gulech Hashem should help. We shouldn't have it. B'chol gulech Hashem should help. We should have it. So our mitzvah now is Erev Pesach in the morning. We'll speak by the other shiur for the men about the siyum. We make the siyum when we daven Erev Pesach in the morning. We don't say Mizmor L'Soida because you can't bring a korban toida that day. You don't say Lam Natzteach, and it's the davening. And the halacha is that you could eat chametz till the latest. There's two zmanim. One is 10:44, and one is 11:08. The latest you can eat chametz is 11:08. So the best thing is to, if someone has braces or dentures, they shouldn't eat hot chametz for 24 hours already before, and then just put, if dentures that could be taken out, you should pour boiling water on it. If it's inside the mouth, you should just rinse your mouth with the hadas and brush your teeth properly to make sure it should be done before Savzman Achila, and to make sure that you have no chametz in your mouth. And then before 12:02, you should burn the chametz and say the second bittul of chametz. What you're doing is you're being mevatel all your chametz. You're annulling all the chametz that you saw, you didn't see. And it's symbolic also that Hashem should be mevatel all the illnesses. And if you do it properly, you have kavanah, and should take away all the chametz, the yetzer hara, and all the tzoros that we have. And burning the chametz this year, you should only burn the kazayas chametz that you have. It's a mitzvah, and it has to be done before the Savzman, before 12:02. And the same thing, the kol chamira should be said. So first, the best thing is if you have a grill, to burn it on a grill. If you don't have a grill, the best thing is to just put it into the toilet and flush it. But chas v'shalom, not to make fires and congregate in fires, which is against the law now. And after it's flushed or after it's burned, you make say the kol chamira and you say the yiratzim. First, this Shabbos is Shabbos Agudah. Shabbos Agudah, the minhag is to say the Agudah. You start the Agudah from Avodah Mayinu, and you go till Chabral Avodah. You don't say the parts of which is the mitzvah of Manishtana, and Gamliel Omer. You don't say that, so it's really not yoytze the mitzvah of Agudah. The only reason we're doing it is because it started, the Ness started, and that's the day that the Yidden took the lambs and the Mitzrayim couldn't do anything. So we started already feeling, I remember when we were children, reading the Agudah, you started feeling Pesach already. You started feeling that you're getting ready for the Yontif of Pesach. So everyone should say the Agudah, and you prepare yourself. Erev Yontif, after 1:20, is just a Chalamoid. You're not allowed to do any malacha that you don't do on Chalamoid. You're not allowed to do after 1:20. The only difference is that here you're allowed to have a non-Jew do something. But we mentioned there's a whole controversy if you should have a guy that's coming into your house, and it's probably the best thing maybe if you don't need it, you shouldn't have it. If someone really needs it, and without having it, they'll have anxiety. The only way you could do it is you make sure first that you ask the guy to the questions that are asked always, that you have it or you have any symptoms. Did you go next to somebody who has symptoms? And then if they're truthful and the answer is no, they should wear gloves and wear a good mask, and then wash their hands constantly and change your gloves constantly. That's the only way really we could have goytas come into the house. And the loch is that till 12:02, if you have any chametz to give the goyta, you could give it then. You could give it the goyta the chametz till then. You should put it out of your reshus. And this year we're not going to have in the city the trucks that we always have, the trucks for garbage, the trucks for recycle, the trucks for the green bin. So make sure the days that you have the recycle and green bin and garbage, you should put it out before till next Tuesday. If for some reason you couldn't do it, the best thing is to take the stuff out of the green bin and put it into a plastic bag and put it in front of the house and where it's not your rishus and not in the other side of the sidewalk, and it's not in your rishus. That's the best thing to do. But it's better to make sure that either real chametz you lock up and belongs to the guy, and the other chametz get rid of before the week before. The halacha is that you take haircuts before. You're not allowed to take haircuts after 1:20. You shouldn't cut your nails after 1:20. If one forgot to cut the nails before, you could do it with a shinui. But a haircut you only could give through a non-Jew after chatzos. After chatzos, you could only do malachas that you would do. I could do a chalamayit. You're allowed to put some up on a button, and you could only do laundry that you're allowed to do chalamayit for little toddlers, for infants. But if you have a goit in the house, they could do the laundry, they could do the sewing for you, and then the person should prepare. We said that our minig of Ashkenaz, we don't eat egg matzahs. So after the zman of 12:02, you're not allowed to eat any egg matzahs. But for little children, you could give a young child, you could give egg matzahs till 5 o'clock, and those who eat gebrokts could eat knedlich or chremzlich till 5 o'clock. But after 5, you're supposed to be hungry for the yontiv. You're not allowed to fill yourself. You're allowed to eat fruits, things you're allowed to. First, this year, Erev Pesach, we have to make an Erev Tavshilin, because Pesach is in Chutz La'aretz, we have to make an Erev Tavshilin, because in Eretz Yisrael, they only have 1 day yontiv. We have 2 days yontiv. So you have to make Erev Tavshilin, and Erev Tavshilin is you take a baked matzah, and you take some eggs or meat or fish that you're preparing for Shabbos, and you make the bracha on Mitzvah's Erev, and you say Badain that with this Erev, and you have to say it out. With this Erev, I'm allowed to cook and allowed to prepare, I'm allowed to light candles. So everyone should remember to make the Erev Tavshilin. Erev Pesach. Also remember to prepare everything before Yontiv. The Seder the halacha is that you have the whole Seder prepared before Yontiv, because it's if in a base melech, you don't all of a sudden the last minute. Everything should, like Erev Yontiv, the table should be set and everything should be put on. And even though Avelis, we don't usually put all the silver out, but we're showing the Zeichel Cheres, that even though we're in the Tzoros, we remember the Cheres. In the biggest Tzoros, you should lean and be happy. And you set a beautiful, beautiful royal table for the Rebbeinu Shloim to show how happy we are, everything He does for us. Happy we are in our solitude, happy in our isolation. We're so happy with your Rebbeinu Shloim. Just imagine those people who were in Tzoros, in communist countries or in concentration camps, didn't have anything. We, Baruch Hashem, have our homes, we have our family. So it's not like every year, but we should be l'hoidos u'lahalel l'shem cha'agodah. We have to thank Rebbeinu Shloim for look how much we have. Look how much we have, Baruch Hashem. So we're going through a little calamity, but thank Rebbeinu Shloim, and if we thank Rebbeinu Shloim, He'll give us more good. So Erev Pesach, you prepare everything you have to prepare. Yeah, the zroya there should be broiled before the yontiv, and salt water should be made before yontiv. The grain should be ground before yontiv. The salad, best thing with salad, you have to be careful only to use salad that's baduk from the companies. Best things to use the salad, the remain lettuce from the companies that already are baduk. You have to check, because it's a very big achrayus to check the remain lettuce, especially because they sometimes have worms inside the leaves. So you should only use the ones that the Baruch Hashem Rebbeinu Shem gave us in our generation, the generation before. My father, Al Hashem, learned by the night Rav, and he stayed one Pesach by his Rebbe. He said the Rebbe was so nervous eating the lettuce. He had 20 bachrim checking every piece of lettuce, and every person who found a bug got a forint, like $1. And after 20 bachrim, he checked it over again and again. Not to be over the loises of eating bugs. The loises, sometimes many loises eating bugs. So we have to make sure we only use lettuce that we know 100% sure it doesn't have any bugs. And it should be, if it says you should wash it off, you should wash it off before Yontiv and dry it before Yontiv. And the same thing, the charaisis should be made before Yontiv. Everything, the grain should be ground before Yontiv. Everything should be done, prepared before Yontiv. And so when you come to the table, everything is ready already If you forgot, you could call, find out what you should do. But everything should be prepared before Yom Tov. The Erev Tavshilin, prepare first. The first thing to remember right in the morning to make the Erev Tavshilin, not to forget, because then there'll be a problem with cooking for Yom Tov. And the halach is that on the second day Yom Tov, you could start Shabbos early, and it's a mitzvah to start Shabbos early. Al Stoisis Shabbos, and not only that, by starting Shabbos early, you won't come Chas Shalom to be over anything. So you have on the calendar the times of starting Shabbos early, and to remember that everything has to be really cooked. You can't put something in right before. Everything has to be cooked before Yom Tov. They should be eaten on Yom Tov. Because one of the reasons we're allowed to make Erev Tavshilin is because you could use the food on Yom Tov. So even though you don't really have a need, but you might have a need. So, but all the food should be cooked, fully cooked for Yom Tov, and then the Erev Tavshilin should be used on Shabbos. You know, if you use the matzah, you should use the matzah for lechem mishnah and be eaten by Shal Shudas, and whatever you make should be eaten at the Suda on Shabbos, because that's what you did. You cooked it for Shabbos, and and to remember to make the Erev Tavshilin and use it for Shabbos. Everyone should do everything. Should be bathed and the covered Yom Tov, dress beautiful begodim for Yom Tov, and be ready to start. But you have to be careful this year, since we're all home, not to start. The earliest we could make Kiddush is 8:44, so you can't make Kiddush before 8:44. So to make sure, but everything else you should be ready. We're home already. Now, first we light the candles, and even though many people have a minhag to light candles only when they start the Suda, this year, because of what we're in, I think everyone should, it's the mitzvah, especially because everyone is home, you don't know when Yom Tov is starting. And you don't know Yom Tov is starting, no one goes to shul, and all of a sudden Yom Tov comes on. So everyone should, 7:36, you should light your candles, the covered Yom Tov, and a woman makes the bracha l'hadik ner Yom Tov and shechiyanu. And if you make shechiyanu by lighting candles, you don't make a shechiyanu again by kiddush. Like means a man who's living alone and lit candles and made shechiyanu, either shouldn't make shechiyanu by lighting candles and should make it only by kiddush. But if you made shechiyanu by lighting candles, or a woman living alone, it's better not to make shechiyanu by lighting candles. Just say the shechiyanu by kiddush. But a woman who made shechiyanu and they're making kiddush, the whole family together, the woman should not say shechiyanu again because she made the bracha shechiyanu. She can't say amen, but she shouldn't make a shechiyanu again. We prepare before Yom Tov, we prepare a 3-day candle, because Yom Tov we're not allowed to light a match, and we have to light the candles for the first day Yom Tov, for the second day, and the second day Yom Tov for Shabbos. So make sure you have a 3-day candle, because you're not allowed to strike a match. And when you're lighting on Yom Tov, you have to make sure not to chas v'shalom put out, not to be over putting out kibui, putting out the candle. You should have like a tray or something to put down the match that you're lighting. You're allowed to use a match, and you put down the match. And the best thing is if you have all the candles should be prepared. You know, those who have a minhag that they topple all the candles, that the light candles should be done before the first day, before Yom Tov and Erev Yom Tov on Wednesday. And if you're using the floats, the petilot, you should prepare enough petilot for all 3 days. And when you have the 3-day candles, don't use the plastic ones. The plastic ones that said 3 candles. I myself had an incident that the candle went and melted. So even though they say they guarantee, but the many stories, chas v'shalom, with fires, you have to be very careful. So you should use only the ones with either with tin can or with a glass, and it should be put in a place where chas v'shalom shouldn't come into any fires. But the halacha, you have to prepare for 3 days on. On Yom Tov, you're allowed to use hot water. So you could, since you have to wash, our mitzvah now is always to wash our hands. So you could use the hot water to wash your hand. On Shabbos, you cannot put on the hot water, but you could leave the hot water running, and you could always use the hot water to wash the hand. But in the private home, you can't make the water, make it come stronger. You just leave it the way it is. But you live in a tenant, in an apartment building where there's goyim also, then you could, if you have the water running the whole time, you can make it stronger and make it less. But in a private home, you just leave it running, and if you want, you can turn it off. But since we need hot water, they say that to wash your hand, you have to have hot water to get for the corona. So you should leave the hot water running. So Yom Tov, you could put on the hot water. Shabbos, so before Shabbos, you put on hot water and you kabel Shabbos early. So especially this year, there's a mitzvah to be Mekabel Shabbos. And by the Seder, there's 6 mitzvahs by the Seder. The 2 deraises and 4 drabanan. There's the mitzvah Esa deraisa of eating matzah, which is that mitzvahs of Yom, the only mitzvah that we have nowadays, a mitzvah Esa deraisa to eat something. It's such a beautiful mitzvah. And the mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, saying to Yisrael that this mitzvah is incumbent on every man and woman and every boy and girl over the age of 9. They have a chiyuv to eat midiraisa, al chinuch for children, to eat matzah, and to say Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. So you can't have a child over 9 run around and not he has to say, but we'll say what the minimum you have to say. And then there's 4 drabanans, the arba kaisis, to drink the 4 kaisis of wine. And then there's the mitzvah of Morer Drabanan, the mitzvah of Kairach Midrabanan, the mitzvah of Pekaiman Midrabanan. Those are 4 mitzvahs Drabanan, and that we do that night. But the main mitzvah is the mitzvah matzah, which is the mitzvah Deraisa. And the best thing is to use shmura matzah for the 2 nights of Yom Tov. Some people eat, even if they eat hand matzah, the machine matzah, but on the 2 nights Yom Tov, they use hand matzah to make sure. But if you use machine matzah, it should be shmura matzah to be mekayim the mitzvah of kazayis matzah, and the halacha is that the men have to eat the kazayis matzah and drink the arba kaisis baseva. They have to lean, and leaning means you lean back on the left side, and if you're a lefty, you lean back on the right side, and you lean b'derech kavod. It shouldn't be, you don't lean in a way that's not comfortable. The purpose of leaning is to be comfortable. So you lean back and to the side, and you eat your matzah, and you drink the arba kaisis. Like we mentioned before, that all the arba kaisis have to be done after 8:44, and the second night the halacha is it's after 8:45, and that's when you can light candles. The second night after 8:45, and 22 minutes later, if you hold Bein Tamzman, the mitzvah of the night, which is mitzvah Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. So many people now are zoicha to be a shona rishona. We, after all the years, we had all the children saying Manishtana. I told my wife, Baruch Hashem, this year we're back to our honeymoon year, and we could she'll say the Manishtana, and the mitzvah is to say Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. The main part of what you have to say is the Manishtana and Avodim Hayinu, and then at the end to say Gabriel Eimer till the end, Baruch Hashem Gal Yisrael. Those parts you have to say. Every man and woman have to say it. You say the rest, it's meshubach, but that's the minimum. Even if a woman is tired and everything, she has to say that part. The same thing after benching. Women are very tired usually, so you can't just drink the 2 kaises. The kaises have to be done according to the Seder. The first kais is the Kiddush. The second kais is after you finish Gal Yisrael. The third kais is after benching. The 4th kais is after you finish Melech Mulvat Shbachos. And the woman has to say the Hallel by the 4th kais. You have to say the Hallel, Hallel Agadol, and say it then. And then you can drink the 4th kais. If you drink 2 kais together, you're not yoitza. And between the kaises, the halach is that you could drink, but you have to have in mind when you say Baruch Hashem that you might drink more. So between the first kais and second kais, you could drink grape juice, you could drink any kind of drink, and by the Suda you could drink. You shouldn't drink things that are meshaker, but you could drink drinks. After the 3rd kais, you're not allowed to drink. You could drink only you could only drink things that don't take away the taste of a kaiman. So you could drink some tea, light tea, or some water, seltzer, but shouldn't drink anything with sugar that takes away the taste of the apikoimen. So, but it's just like by the Arba Pashas, between the 1st and 2nd and 3rd, we have sometimes the Shabbos a hefsek, but after between the Pashas of Par and Pashas Chodesh, there's never a hefsek. So you're also here between the 3rd and 4th kais, you're not allowed to drink except for water or we're not allowed to drink anything that's sweet, and especially you're not allowed to drink wine or things that take away the taste of the afikoyim. The mitzvah halayla, what you do at night, is the mitzvah to eat achilas matzah, the mitzvah esed deraisa, and every man and woman, a child overnight has a chiv to eat the ksayis matzah, and it should be b'lektchila eaten b'kdei achilas pras, and if you're eating hand matzah, so the ketchila, it should be, if it depends how big the matzahs are. If it's a regular size matzah, if you eat a half a matzah, you yoitza to gzeisim, and by koirach you eat a quarter of a matzah. And the people who can't eat because it's hard to them, they could soak it in water, and a little, even if those who don't eat gebrokts, but the mitzvah chil's matzah is greater than eating gebrokts. And then there's a famous story by the Sar Sholem, the Belzer Rebbe, the first Belzer Rebbe is Zachayin Levracha, that they were eating the Seder, and he had his elderly mother sitting next to him. And his elderly mother was a little senile, and the mother went and put matzah into the soup, and put it into the Belzer Rebbe soup. And the Belzer Rebbe ate it. And the Hasidim asked him, by us, eating gebrokts is like eating chametz. He said, not eating gebrokts is a minhag. Not to be mevayish a parent is a mitzvah esed deraisa. To be mechaber parents is a mitzvah esed deraisa. Sometimes people don't put their priorities the wrong way. You know, they hurt the parents. The mitzvah of mekibud av aim, the mitzvah is the biggest mitzvah in the Torah, especially by the Seder. A person has to be careful not to get angry. Yidam to Rabbi called shiur. Shiur is anger. Make sure you have no anger. And the other thing is chas v'shalom to speak lashon hara by the Seder. I mean, we know that honest al pi dibur, Santa says, they went to Mitzrayim because of the lashon hara that was spoken. That was, and now we have this machla. One of the things the machla shows talking. You have to be so careful when someone talks that droplets shouldn't go. And first they thought it goes only 6 feet. Now I read they said it could go 27 feet. When a person speaks, his words go all over. When you speak lashon hara, you speak words that you shouldn't say, sheker, or you say mevayish a person. The Rebbe was showing us, be careful how you speak. Cover your mouth. Put a mask on. Don't talk. Make ilim. Be careful what you say, because when you talk, you could cause others to be hurt. You could cause others to die. 3 died because of lashon hara. So especially nowadays, when we're careful, we should be careful, and that's what the Rebbe is showing us with Corona, how the koyach of a mouth is. But a koyach with a mouth could hurt. You go, and that's why people go. You don't even know people. You're sitting next to a person. He has Corona. He's talking to you, and he's contaminating you. Speaking lashon hara is contaminating people. So the person should be very careful before Yom Tov and on Yom Tov, especially during the Seder. And you eat the matzah, men and boys should eat the matzah leaning. And if you didn't eat it leaning, you have to eat it again. There's a chiv to eat it b'aseva. By drinking the wine, the best thing is not to have a real big kais. Because the halacha is that if you're drinking wine, the ketchila is supposed to drink the whole kais or roiv kais. It's better to have a minimum kais. Like they found the kais of the Chavetz Chaim, the kais of the Psos Lanter. I mean, according to Ramosha, 4.4 is the most chomer the kais. 4.4 ounces, and really 3.3 could be good, 2.9 could be good. The best thing is to have, a wine that you really like, and a wine that's not that you're going to be able to be up for the whole Seder. It's going to give you a headache and not be able to be up to the Seder. You're defeating the purpose. Even if you like the wine, but if because of that you won't be able to do the whole Seder, then you should drink a wine that will be able to digest and be able to control. And the mitzvah to drink the wine, and the mitzvah is really red wine, but for some reason, if you like white wine better, there's still an inyan to having red. So the halacha is first you put in the red wine, and then you put the white wine. It means you're not allowed to, you shouldn't have white wine and put red to make it red, because then even though we pass in, there's no tzvi b'oichlim, but the you shouldn't do that. So the first you put the red wine in, and then you put in the white wine. And those who want to, there's a list of the wines that don't have any sugar, that don't have anything added to it. and it's not mavushal like tchila. It's supposed to be not mavushal, but that's all like tchila. If you can't find it, or there's other wines that you like better, then, or if someone can drink wine, so you could be yoitz with grape juice if you want to mix a little wine with grape juice, or if you want to drink water and wine and water. That means 5 parts should be water, 1 part wine, and you drink it. The tchila to drink the whole kais. So it's better to have a small kais and drink the whole kais. And someone who can drink is yoitz malay lugma. Is yoitz your mouthful. Your yoitz, and it's every person according to how big his mouth is. So if you put into your mouth, and it's enough. So it could be even less than an ounce. But that's like a person should try to drink. If you can't drink wine, you drink grape juice and mix a little wine into the grape juice. And be yoitza, the mitzvah of arba kais is the way it should be yoitza. The mitzvah, we said more. The best thing is to eat, use the lettuce that's checked already, and you have to be careful. If the lettuce are wet, if you don't eat gebruchts, you can't put the lettuce in with the matzah. So some people, our minig is we by kairech, we don't use lettuce, we use only chrein because of that reason. And but if you do use lettuce, you should make sure it's completely dry. If you're makbid on gebruchts, so it shouldn't be wet when you're making kairech. So the halacha is that kairech you also eat leaning, and because you're eating the mitzvah of chilas matzah, and the tchila should be, you don't have to eat like a slab and put it in the mouth and look like a slab. That's not the mitzvah in the Torah. The mitzvah is put the pieces in slowly into your mouth, and as much as you can, you could swallow it. It means if it's a big, like eating 2 gzeisim, a person can't have 2 gzeisim, swallow 2 gzeisim at one time. So 1 gzais is enough, and then the other gzais you swallow. And really, it's only the one who makes the bracha has to have 2 gzeisim. But how many is everyone eats 2 gzeisim? But if you don't have enough, you eat 1 kazayas. Some it's hard to eat 1 kazayas. Then you eat the suda. The minute by the suda is that we eat eggs, because to remember the churban, because the churban is always the same night. To remember the churban, also eggs is beya. You ask Rabbi Shloim. You ask Rabbi Shloim to help us. The minig is that we don't eat any dry, broiled or roasted meat. You can only eat meat or chicken only if it's also has some moisture with it. You can't eat grilled chicken or grilled meat or roasted. You can only if you have a pot roast and you put some water in it. Then you could have a pot roast with water, but we don't need anything that's roasted or grilled without water. That's why you can't eat the zroya from the both nights of Pesach. You can't eat the zroya. The egg you could eat. In Agudah, there's an Indian of eating the egg, but the zroya we don't eat 2 nights, but you should eat it the second day of Yontiv. It's Agudah, it's an Indian of eating it, so not to be mevayishud. But you're not allowed to eat anything roasted. The halach is you say the Agudah together, and after you drink the 3rd kais, we say you open the door. And this year you open the door and show that we're not scared to open the door now. It's Leil Shemurim. We're not scared that nothing is going to be. Should hope that it should take away all the tzaras, and you open the door that the should take away all the tzaras. Erev Pesach, the Chaim has this minhag, and a lot of Sad Rebbe had this minhag to say the famous letter from Shimshon Asupolia. It's supposed to be a real Kabbalistic letter. It's a segula this year, especially. Maybe people should say it. It's a big segula to say it. And then after Mincha on Erev Yontiv, Wednesday night, you say the Korban Pesach, like you brought the Korban Pesach. And now, if you're davening at home, make it a beautiful davening. And then we say Hallel. We say Hallel after davening. And women, everyone should say the Hallel. You can make you a bracha on the Hallel, and the bracha is also to be moitzi the Hallel and the Hallel later that we say in the Agudah. So you say the bracha and you say Hallel b'shavet now, and usually women don't see how we sing the beautiful Hallel at night, but now everyone's together, sing the Hallel together, Hallel Eidah with the bracha like they used to do Bisman Beis Hamikdash, and say the Hallel. And then later also you sing the Hallel. When you say Hoyd Hashem, if you have another person with you, you say Pasuk by Pasuk, like you say it in Shul, that in the person, the father or the husband or the man of the house says Hoidu, and the people answer Hoidu Yomer, and they answer Hoidu. And it's the best thing. If you have three people, for sure, it's good. Even if you have one person, you could still say it. One person says it, the other person answers it. The halacha is, and the second night we say Sfira. You have to make sure the Ketchila shouldn't say Sfira till the Zman. And some people have meaning to say Sfira at the end of the Seder. But make sure you say Sfira. You start counting Sfira the second night, Yontiv. And then the Erev Shabbos, you Makabel Shabbos. And if you Makabel Shabbos early, so you should be able to, this year especially, some Indian of being Makabel Shabbos early, else Chus. And then Shabbos should be a beautiful Shabbos, Shabbos Chalamoid. The halacha is that you say Shir Hashirim. Thing, the women always look for schus, and biggest segula to say Shir Hashirim, that Shabbos. Shir Hashirim is a very big segula. People said that many people were helped with children and shidduchim by saying Shir Hashirim. And so that Shabbos we say Shir Hashirim by davening. Like the men, you have a beautiful davening. You could do the kriya. You could say Vay Messiah, Ataresa. You do the kriya with the family, and you say Shir Hashirim with the family. And then you have beautiful, then you have Shalshudus with the family, then you have Chalamoid. This year, Chalamoid trips are different than all other years. You have to be careful where you go because of Corona. The best thing is you take a trip out with your family, someplace, and you don't go to a place where people congregate. You don't, sorry, could you turn off? You don't go to a place where, sorry? So you don't go to a place where people congregate, and you have to be very careful that you shouldn't go to Chas v'Shalom, because that's our mitzvah this year. Be careful, no one should get sick. The last days of Pesach is the only yontiv a woman doesn't say Shechionu when she lights candles. The only yontiv we don't say Shechionu by Kiddush. I always ask that, you ask women, which yontiv don't you say Shechionu? It's the last days of Pesach, because really the whole yontiv of Pesach is one yontiv. On Erev, and the last days, we go and we say Haidu before. So Chalamoid, you cook for Yontiv, you're allowed to cook for Yontiv and Chalamoid. And some people already prepare for Achon Shal Pesach, even if they don't eat gebrochts, but they prepare it for Achon Shal Pesach. Achon Shal Pesach, there's different minhagim of eating gebrochts or not, and you make sure it's at night after Tzeis, and you could eat gebrochts to show that we don't hold those people eat gebrochts as from eat chametz, because then we wouldn't eat an Achon Shal Pesach. So the halach is an Achon Shal Pesach, even if some people dafka want to eat, to show, you eat knedlach to show that you want the simchas yontiv. Some Sefer said the biggest simchas yontiv is by eating knedlach. So we don't eat knedlach all yontiv, but Achon Shal Pesach you eat knedlach and eat to show the simchas yontiv, and the yontiv should be, it's the beautiful yontiv we had, the whole yontiv. And then you have to make sure the earliest you make Havdalah is 8:52, and afterwards some people have a minhag that they use chametz. Like this year, I said you could put away chametz, you could put away a bottle of beer, and the gra and the Chaim used to be makbet to make Havdalah on beer to show the chavivus of that. The reason you didn't eat chametz till now is only because of the Isser, and some people have a minhag that on the Achon Shal Pesach, but Nilas Achag, they eat matzah again. Some people drink even arba koises then. To going away yontiv, you feel bad the yontiv. It's called the Sudas Baal Shem, the famous story where Baal Shem was nitzel. So Chassidim, I remember I went to the Skolya Rebbe. He says over the whole story of how the Baal Shem Tov was nitzel. So you eat, and then matzah yontiv, you could open up your chametz, and it's all sold back to the guy. And if you want to be machmer for Rebbein Tam, it's 9:14, and you make Havdalah afterwards. The main thing is be b'simcha. If you b'simcha, the Baruch will help that the simcha will bring more simcha. We'll get out of this tzoros, and everyone should have a complete. So just want to mention the Gemara brings down that David Melech was masakin to say 100 brachos when there was a Megeifa. So we don't. I always say the segula of Chazal, the segula of what it's brought down in halacha is the biggest segula. Meir brachas. He said when people are dying every day, so he's made that we should say 100 brachas a day. A man davens 3 Shemoneh Esrei has 57 brachas, and then you have all the other brachas afterwards. Women, so maybe these days, a woman should try to daven 3 times so she has the 57 brachas. But the Meir brachas takes away Mageifa. Meir brachas makes nothing, no one should die. Meir brachas is what Chazal teach us. David HaMelech is Masaka Meir brachas, so people shouldn't die. So the inyan of saying the 100 brachas a day, make sure, and it starts from the night. So like Mishmur goes the whole cheshbon, you say Woman Apr, and you so the first night Yom Tov, we don't say the whole Krishma, we only say Woman Apr, only the first patch of Krishma, because it's Leil Shmurim, and so only say Woman Apr and the first patch of Krishma, and we ask Rabbi Shem, just like he was Shomer then, he should be Shomer Dalsis Yisrael, that no Mageifa should go in any door, no Mageifa should go by everybody, and B'schus saying the Meir brachas, and B'schus doing all the things, B'mkabel Shabbos early, and show B'mkabel Yom Tov, in B'toises Yom Tov, and waiting a little, even like I said, after Yom Tov, you wait for 2 minutes, it's 8:52, wait to 8:54, and to show that you add for the Rebbeinu Shalom, Rebbeinu should help that just like the Krankheit came, it should go away. Just like we don't know how it came. Rebbeinu Shalom could do anything. Just like he took us out of Mitzrayim then, we say, Cain, Yotzianu, just like he took us out, Kamosha, Chaldor V'dor, you have to see, just like Rebbeinu Shalom took us then out, he'll take us from this Golus, and from the special, from Golus of that we are, that the Beis Mikdash will be built, and from this Golus that we're in now, the Golus of Corona. Rebbeinu Shalom will take us out of this Golus, and we'll be Zoicha, everyone should be well, to be Zoicha, to be able to be Oile Regel, Beis Mikdash, Meher V'meinu Amen, have a good Yom Tov. Anyone has questions? You want to ask? Do you have any questions?
Okay, I'm concerned that if people ask questions at once, for those who are able to raise their hand, it's an icon located on the bottom where it says reactions, and you can put your hand up if you have any question, or message me, and I'll gladly unmute you so you'll be able to ask the Rav questions. I wanted to thank the Rav for his patience with the technology, and as the Rav said, the Sutton, especially now, is working hard to make sure that the Zoom sessions don't work. So questions, by all means, either message them or find the icon.
Okay, anyone have any questions? Okay, Baruch Hashem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I have a question. You could always call me at 416-783-3869, 416-432-6402, and we'll help you.
Okay.
Sure, all have a freiliche kosher Yom Tov.
Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody so they can all wish the Rav a good Yom Tov and say thank you. Okay, so I'm going to unmute everybody at this moment. Please try to minimize your background noise.
Thank you, Rabbi Lowys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
We appreciate your halachos shiur, and it means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rabbi Lowys. Is the loop going to send out all the times that we have mentioned by email?
I think, yes, Akiva.
Yes, the signs, the times have been sent out previously. It will be sent again, and they're always available at, we'll make sure it's available in big signs at TheAgudah.ca. It's one word, TheAgudah, TheAgudah.ca. And however you get the loop, you can always send an email and say we need the zmanim.
Thank you, everybody, and good Yom Tov.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akiva. Akiva, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.